with the elements combined, where Mother Nature meets Father Time. To hear the truth, are those gray skies? Only I know you can't trust AI. It's Groundhog Day, and maybe life is on a loop. But I miss my burrow. I miss my coop. So I'm headed back down. There's a shadow up here. Get ready for 6 more weeks of winter this year.
Well, there you have it. 6 more weeks of winter, says Punxsutawney Phil, if I pronounced it right, his name right. So, brings a tear to my eye. Actually, the cold does, because it's really cold this morning, and my right eye always tears up for some reason. So there you go.
All right. We welcome you.
So I just happened to come out here, and I wasn't sure what time I would get my day started, because I wound up sort of waking up in the middle of the night. It's a lot colder than I thought, so I wound up waking up in the middle of the night, unable to sleep. Oddly, my apartment was really warm, even though I keep my thermostat way down at like 64, 65 at night, because I have so many covers, and the way the building works, it seems to be okay. Like, I was actually hot. And I remembered, you know, it's Groundhog Day on Sunday. You know, it actually was in the middle of the night, so it was already in Sunday. And I didn't really think about it. I was like, I'll probably sleep in, because I'm here up awake in the middle of the night and unable to get back to sleep, kind of in busy mode or something. Anyway, laundry unit, right? But I kind of roused up, or rose up, got up, whatever, at 7:04, like 7 o'clock-ish, 7:04, and I was like, well, I do my grocery purchasing in spurts. Like, I have little items that I get here and there on my trips, and maybe I'll just run out really quick before it gets crowded. On a Sunday morning, it's super cold, so that's what I decided to do here. And I was like, what time is this Groundhog Day ceremony begin? Because at 4:25 a.m. is really when the Groundhog Day situation gets started. Anyway, it said 7:15, so I was like, let me get downstairs really quick. I always walk down the stairs, but today it's Sunday morning, no one's around. I'm like, I'll take the elevator, and it was right on time. The only thing I missed of the ceremony to put on this video for you, these 2 videos, was the very first sound that one of the ceremonial guys makes. But there you have it. It's actually Groundhog's Day, and it's Sunday. I thought it's interesting because I never really paid that much attention to Groundhog's Day. I'm not really sure why. I remember the movie with what's his name from I can't think of his name, Bill. Anyway, usually I have to dig for it for some reason, even though he's a Saturday Night Live, you know, person from ages ago, and he's tired of being a newscaster and working for, you know, say local news, and then being assigned Groundhog's Day, and to him life is just a constant, you know, here we go again. And what's interesting is I used to think that, because it's like, do weathermen or women get tired of saying the same things every year? Well, it's Christmas, you know, well, it's the holidays, well, here's the parade, I used to think that. And it's like, do they ever get bored saying the same thing? Of course, you know, and in the movie, they wind up creating a loop for, you know, the main character. Then he winds up, you know, sort of trying to figure out how to impress this woman to date, and he has to like learn the piano, 6 languages, you know. He has all this time because life is on a loop and nothing advances, nothing moves forward. So he's like, well, I'll spend all this time, you know, and in a loop he would run into the same people every day, and it got weird. He would walk out, the same guy would like trip on, you know, a hole in the street or whatever. The newspaper hit his head at the same time every morning. And he's like, well, since I'm experiencing the same day over and over again, it's really the same day over and over again. I got too deep there on the philosophy. You know, he decides to like become a piano aficionado, learn a new language, like all these things. He picks up this woman, I forget her name, she's a famous actress from years ago, I haven't seen her in a long time. Anyway, so she winds up walking around with him and witnessing the loop. She's like, you're right, you're like stuck in a loop or whatever. Or like, that's weird, you know. And it's funny because many times in 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I still say it today. Like, I wish someone could walk around with me and see some of the stuff that unfolds, just to have an actual witness in person, to get just as sort of annoyed or aggravated or scared or whatever by some of the activity that goes on. These days it's a lot different than 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and so forth and so on. Then we had the pandemic, which really thinned things out, and so forth and so on. So anyway, here comes a regional rail line or a subway train over the bridge here. Both of them use this, or actually, right, let me think about this. Right, the Market L goes under with the trolleys on Market, but anyway, just the regional rail goes across there. I'm trying to think if there's any subway that winds up on that bridge, but I guess not really. So anyway, on here there's still you know, picking up the pieces, or the you know, dealing with, you know, what a shocking and really sad tragedy in the Northeast there at Cotman, Roosevelt, and Bustleton, all around there at the Roosevelt Mall. And you know, so they showed a crater on the news. Just like, that's crazy, you know, one in DC, and then, you know, then a medevac, you know, in airplane, you know, in ambulance airplane. I've heard like 3 different terms for whatever type of airplane it is. I didn't know they had airplanes, medical airplanes. I've always heard medevac. I always think of a helicopter for some reason, you know, like they come and pick someone up off the highway if there's a really, you know, the jaws of life they have to use to